And going back to our story on the vandalism of the Swami Narayan Temple in Newark in California and how it has offended the Indian community's sentiments, and to talk about issues surrounding that, we are joined by Professor Anshu Joshi, who teaches international studies at India's Jawaharlal Nehru University. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Now, India is working closely with several countries on counter-terrorism. We know that. How much of a deterrent is that to extremist groups, you think, operating abroad with relative impunity?
First and foremost, Mark, it is very unfortunate to see that the nation that is contributing to counter-terrorism initiatives, measures continuously, and the nation that is spreading the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam across the world is facing such unprecedented and brutal attacks on its culture, identity, and integrity. So it's actually unfortunate, and indeed what our External Affairs Minister has stated, sought action is expected against the perpetrators at the earliest. But we need to decode this entire episode. And here I would say that this is not the first incident in past couple of months. So after Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau's claim of potential Indian involvement in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, what happened? Couple of Hindu temples in Canada were vandalized by Khalistani leaders and supporters, and anti-Hindu and anti-India slogans were written on the walls of these temples. Actually very unfortunate. And it doesn't seem to be done in a jiffy, because after Nijjar was killed, it seems to be a proper plan, because Pannu came up with a plan and he started issuing open threats against Hindus living in Canada, and he also asked them to leave the country, and he also started running campaigns, Khalistani campaigns in various parts of Canada. And now these campaigns, I think, have reached United States of America.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I don't think that, I'm coming to your question now, United States of America at this moment will not jeopardize its relations with India, because US is a very close partner in fighting this global war against terrorism. And time and again, United States of America has stated that it works closely not only with India but all other such nations that are working on promoting counter-terrorism initiatives. So I hope that US takes view seriously of this incident and takes a prompt action.
But if we look at it from the Homeland Security point of view in the US law enforcement, how much support does it give to freedom of religion and conscience of people, I mean, like of Indian minorities, Hindu minorities? Are they actually involved with the conversation? They may not understand enough about the culture.
I think that in past couple of years, not only the influence of Indian diplomacy has increased in United States of America, we can clearly see more involvement of Indian people, Indian diaspora present there. And in present times, each and everyone wants to know about Indian culture, and our temples, the spirituality that we follow are well understood by the people of United States of America. So there are very good people-to-people connects, apart from good government-to-government and government-to-people connects when it comes to United States of America. So Mark, I think that when it comes to India and what has been done on the soil of United States of America, and adding this question of homeland security, I think some prompt action would be taken against the criminals.
Indeed, but how best to contain the spread of this extremist rhetoric? Clearly, these kind of incidents are designed to turn Hindus, ordinary Hindus, against ordinary Sikhs, and happening on a foreign soil. After all, both of them are people of India, and it's basically going to turn into a situation back home in India. The US law enforcement cannot allow this to happen.
That's a very good question, Mark, because by the end of the day, people from both the communities belong to India.
Yes.
And we need to understand that this all happened because of the political ambitions of Trudeau. apart from the Khalistani movement. But not every Sikh or every person who belongs to this particular religion is a Khalistani, I would say.
Absolutely not, yes.
And
I agree with you.
They all love Mother India.
Yes.
So I don't see each and every one belonging to this particular gang or this movement. So I think that by the end of the day, Hindus will also understand. Hindus have that flexibility. They understand and they empathize with the situation and the people. So I think that the situation should remain in control, and because it's foreign soil, the support is expected from United States of America. Recently, we saw these statements from United States of America's State Secretary that India and US strategic partnership has deepened. So I hope that unconditional support would continue from the United States of America's side.
Now, the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division has been informed by concerned parties about this incident. I've been looking at their tweets. They've been actually dealing mostly with anti-Semitism and Islamophobia because of the crisis in Gaza. It's important for them to add the Khalistan element too, isn't it? I mean, it's been around for some time.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And when we look at this rise of Khalistani sentiments and Khalistani, movement, this seems to be a place where, or the region where it flourished. And we can also connect the dots when it comes to funding of this movement. And this funding comes from Canada majorly to, the people who are running the show in India and in other countries as well. So indeed, there would be apprehensions in the lawmakers and the implementers sitting in United States of America, considering another issue going on between Hamas and Israel. And now when it comes to such kind of groups or terrorist organizations, I think the world stands united and world should stand united. But yes, of course, there would be some apprehensions also.
Indeed. Now, well, the Indian community has expressed its hurt and outrage, and so, I mean, what more can be done? We know that Hindu minorities are generally peace-loving, and they will understand that this is to basically create division between Hindus and Sikhs. Hopefully, they can work together to try and create an atmosphere of peace and, foil the whole thing. At the end of the day, the people both understand India better than perhaps the law enforcement authorities of the United States.
Mark, India has faced the brunt of terrorism since a long time. And if you can recall the terrorist attacks that were made in India, yes, and the degree of those attacks. So we do understand that, what it takes to, gather the courage and still, forgive and move on. And that is what Indians do when it comes to our philosophy and actions as well. But of course, what our Ministry of External Affairs has also stated, we need to condemn the rise of such kind of hate crimes and such kind of organizations also. But at the same time, I would also say that such organizations do not represent the face or the entire community.
Yes, absolutely.
So considering that, I think at the level of diplomacy, at the level of law, norms, something substantial should be, done.
Okay, we leave it there. Thank you very much, Professor Anshu Joshi. Thank you for throwing light on this incident. Thank you for being with us. Now, India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S.